Najee Harris is now a Charger. This is a man that doesn't really miss any games. He's the definition of durable, really. But he's also turning 20. Well, he just turned 27. He'll be 28 next year. So 27 this year, just turned 27. Longevity's a whole different question. You know, we could do a Dynasty video on the Dynasty channel, link in description. But right now, we're going to attack 2025. And this man's coming off a 1,043-yard season, 6 TDs, 4 yards per carry. And we're going to take a look at what it means to be a Charger if you're Najee Harris, and what Najee Harris and prospective Najee Harris owners can prepare for walking into 2025. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. 2024 numbers. Not bad, right? 4.0 yards per carry. Look, you know, Kyron ran into some brick walls all year long, and his yards per carry weren't where we would want it either. But you can still recognize whether a player is doing good and is efficient given the circumstances. And Najee, for the most part, has played pretty well. You know, he's durable. Like I said, he hasn't missed a game. Here's his career game log. 17 games, 17 games, 17 games, 17 games. Doesn't miss time. Barely over 1,000 yards in each of the last 3 seasons. 1,200 as a rookie. 7 touchdowns, 8 and 6. He's pretty consistent. The question is, does he perform a lot better behind the Chargers' offensive line? Will he even get all the work, or will the Chargers even bring back maybe J.K. Dobbins or another running back to the draft? It's hard to know. I think until we get to the end of the NFL draft, you know, even day 2, especially day 2, because they're not going to take a day 1 running back, obviously. We come in and we say, yeah, everything we thought with the assumption that we're making tonight holds true. That assumption is that there's no competition, no real crazy competition in LAC. I think you're looking at, if he stays healthy, and history tells us he probably will play a full season, and if he misses, you could also say this is a lot of work, but I don't know, 263, 255, 272. Only one time his rookie year did he eclipse 272 carries. Not really concerned about that workload adding up on Najee. You know, and it's important to throw his receiving stats on screen too, just because he's been a pretty decent receiver. I mean, his earlier years, he was better than the last couple of years in Pittsburgh, but let me throw those numbers on the screen because they're pretty important, and I think they'll throw to him a little bit over in LAC. So I think maybe we see a combination of maybe these numbers, maybe an average. So in 2021 as a rookie, 94 targets, 74 receptions, and 467 and 3. So at the end of the day, his rookie year, he had 10 total touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns the next year, and 7 rushing, so 10 total touchdowns. So he was a double-digit touchdown player in back-to-back seasons, his rookie and sophomore year. It wasn't until the last 2 years, 170 yards, 283. Those are the yardage totals there at the last 2, year 2024 and year 2023. No receiving touchdowns. So kind of just underutilized. But you can't really trip and fall into a 467-yard, 3 touchdown, 74 reception season. Look at 36 and 29, his last 2 seasons. That makes you think he's not a really good receiving back. You got to remember back when he had 74 receptions as a rookie. He can catch. I'll admit, my initial reaction to this was that, and you know, I digest this live, so I don't even have time to think, and I might jump in a direction. But the truth is, I've thought about it a lot, and the fact is, if he can do this in Pittsburgh, he'll do more than this in LAC. And I don't think the workload's so crazy. Again, 200 something carries. He's not getting 300 a season, and given they didn't throw to him a lot in 2024 and 2023, the total touches don't concern me at all. I'm starting to think I like this situation a lot more than I initially did. So we're talking, it's been not even 10 hours. And I'd probably say that this feels really good in the round 4 territory. I've looked at the ADP, and I put the ADP on my screen. I'll even screenshot it one more time and throw it up. I don't know that I absolutely love Najee anywhere near the 3rd round or anywhere near the bottom of round 3, to be honest with you. But I think anywhere in 4, I'm really happy. So let me throw this up and we'll discuss where you think you would draft Najee, because I think you're gonna agree with me. Here's the ADP data over at Underdog, promo code Smitty. And if you want to draft on Underdog, hit the link that's in the description, and they'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000 using code Smitty. The link inserts code Smitty for you. But here's the ADP for RBs. So we're talking about Breece Hall in round number 3. So round number 3 starts at pick 25, goes all the way through to pick 36. So we're talking about Breece Hall, Kyren Williams. I sorted by RB. This is ADP data. Chase Brown. And then now we have James Cook at the top of round 4. We have Mixon, in round 4. We've got Chuba Hubbard right around there. Hampton's kind of right around 4 and almost the top of 5. Kenneth Walker, Kamara. I like him near those guys. I don't know that I would even come close to considering him from James Cook up. So it'd have to be in between Joe Mixon, and I'd even probably move Hubbard above him. Although it's close. I think it's really close. I kind of love Hampton, who's way down here. If Hampton goes somewhere great, I like Hampton up here below James Cook and above Najee. But Monty may be safer, but maybe Harris has a little bit more appeal or upside. But Najee, and Monty or Monty Najee, I'm okay with either one of those. Like Walker would be in this conversation if we knew Walker's situation and we felt confident about it, which we don't right now. Like if they got traded to start somewhere, or if the coaching staff comes out and says Walker's our starter, whatever, we'll move Walker up when the time's right. Trevion Henderson, he goes to an amazing spot. Like Hampton, I have him right below Cook, above Mixon, above Hubbard, above Najee. But I think Najee right here seems perfect. Right above or below Hubbard, and likely below one of Hampton or Henderson. Kamara's right there too. That's where you should draft Najee, which means he's a 4th rounder. I'm very, very okay with that. Mid 4th rounder if possible, but 4th rounder is okay. I don't think I'd put all my eggs in one basket, to be honest with you. I don't think that would be wise. Not because I don't like the situation. Clearly I do. It's just, I don't know. Last year it didn't work out beautifully, right? And I think it just gives me a little bit of pause to be like pushing all my eggs into one basket. But I think I do want to share. One out of 10 leagues, 1 out of 20 leagues, 1 out of 15 leagues. Talking about a small percentage of ownership. I would say not even 10. Not even 10. 1 out of 20. Go at a 5%, ownership in best ball. If the price is right and he falls extremely low in a non-best ball, your buddy league, your work league, and he's sitting there at freaking 5.4, then I love it. The turn pick at the 4 or 5 turn, I'm fine with that. I want to make sure we're clear here. I like him a lot. I think if I had to guess a number, I'd say, let's call it, like I said, an average of the receiving stats, which are right here. Let's call Najee Harris instead of 465 and instead of 170. We'll go somewhere in between and call it 320. 320, we'll call it 1 receiving touchdown. We'll give him 55 receptions. We'll give him 11 to 1,200 rushing yards and 6 or 7 touchdowns, something similar. That's a good year. That's a very safe running back too. And if you can get him in the 4-5, you're crushing it. If you've got to take him in 3, walk away. Why JD 5? I just showed you Breece Hall. You don't draft him in the 3rd round. You can't. Doesn't matter how excited you are. Kyron's in round 3. Chase Brown's in round 3. Breece Hall, right above him, Bucky. Then you got quarterbacks, JD 5, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. All those guys got to go before Najee Harris. Najee Harris is a near Kamara, and you can have Kamara ahead of him. I'm not saying not to. He is a Monty, Caleb Johnson, Judkins, and Judkins goes to a great spot, then he goes up a little bit. This is where you draft him. That's my reaction. You want my initial reaction or my reaction a couple hours after it settles and the dust settles? That's my reaction. That's my take. Najee Harris I'll try and do a video for every single player that has impact and do a self-contained video so that you got it all in one place. Appreciate you. Make sure you're subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Also live additionally whenever big news breaks, and live most graveyard shifts. Appreciate you.